The focus of the lesson is around the Year 6 Science and Understanding strand under Biological Sciences. The content descriptor, the growth and survival of living things are affected by physical conditions of their environment. We pose the question, how can living things survive in Antarctica? The aim of the lesson is for students to become engaged with the question and enthused to research and explain how different living things are able to survive and thrive in an extremely harsh environment. Throughout the lesson, students should develop the knowledge and understanding of how living things adapt to their surroundings. They should understand that these adaptations are a result of many different factors in their environment, including weather, food supply, and other animals. The Australian Government is a leading researcher with extensive and current information found at antarctica.gov.au. The BBC also provides excellent documentary resources. Students need to develop an understanding about the harshness of the environment. They will discuss and explore the fact wind speeds can be 100 km per hour for days at a time, while learning there is no sunlight for a few weeks in winter and 24-hour sunlight for a few weeks in summer, and that average annual temperatures range from -10 degrees Celsius to -60 degrees Celsius. This foundational information will provide students with the knowledge and understanding to explore, research, explain, and share information about the adaptations of animals and plants and how they increase their ability to survive. Students will be able to identify and characterize key physical, physiological, and behavioral adaptations. Students need to understand the difference between the physical adaptation of fish's sleek, smooth, muscular body that ensures they have the speed and agility required to avoid predators, and the physiological adaptations of the leopard seal, which has 70% more blood than humans, enhancing its ability to dive great depths in search of food. Students will also develop their ability to identify behavioral adaptations such as emperor penguins huddling together in rotating position to ensure father and son survive the harsh winter. Although Antarctica is the coldest, driest, and windiest environment on Earth, there is extensive information for students to engage, explore, and explain how living things are able to survive through adaptations to their environment.
Piers just provided all the relevant knowledge of the topic, and it is my turn now to talk about unit plan with a lot of activity. The aim of the unit plan is to provide students with enough scientific knowledge to answer the question, how do living things survive in Antarctica? First of all, starting with engaging part, the educator will pose the question, what do you know about Antarctica? Then we'll do KWL activity to test their prior knowledge and identify their misconceptions. The educator will need to make sure that no one is left out, but all students are involving. Show some images of Antarctic conditions to attract students' interests and engagement of the topic, to discuss about its feature environments. These may include cold temperature, food supplies, winds, snows, ice, and more. The educator will encourage students with an immediate feedbacks. Then we'll do fun activities called sorting animals activities. This will be introduced to students by explaining the activity clearly. Firstly, the educator would put them into a small group of 3 to 4. They will categorize an animal that can live in Antarctica or not with provided images given. Students will work as a group to discuss about it and sort them into groups of yes, no, unsure, with providing reasons for the decisions. This activity will engage all students by including visually attracting images, including variety of animals they know or may not know before. Then, the educator will find students' prior knowledge about how animals and plants are designed to suit and adopt in such extreme environment like Antarctica. And then we'll jump into exploring section, explore through research. The educator will throw a question, how can living things, animals and plants survive in the risky Antarctic conditions? Students will work individually to write 5 statements according to the questions given. After, they will be told to form in a small group to share their statements and joining similar ideas together. This activity will support them to form the foundation of their inquiry by refining and elaborating by adding related ideas, and also can gain through guided research. In order to guide our student research, provide students a worksheet, data chart about adaptations. Students will be encouraged to summarize main points. Lastly, students will create a mind map to summarize all the information. Then it's explained part, students will discuss about adaptations, identifying physical, physiological, and behavioral with teacher. Students will then work in pairs to choose one animal and describe in detail of its adapted to life in Antarctica. The educator will give a list of animals to choose as an option. Options will be given just to narrow it down for students to more focus on the main animals and the relationships between each other, such as penguin, birds, seals, sea lions, and fish, and they can choose which type in specific, for example, albatross. Students will create a poster and they will need to demonstrate their findings, include an image or drawing which shows its physical adaptation, describe its physiological and behavioral adaptations. That's it for 3E.
So peers have provided all the important information about the topic, and Kara have designed a great unit plan to teach the student. So my job now to do the differentiation to cater for all additional needs of the student with disability in the class so that they can achieve their full potential. The most important thing when doing differentiation, you cater for all additional needs of the student so that you can free their cognitive function and so that they can use those free space to think, learn, and finish the task that you provide them. Today we focus in 4 areas: hearing impairment, visual impairment, physical impairment, and intellectual impairments. With hearing impairments, we were looking into the conditive hearing loss condition that's happened when the outer and middle ears are interfered to pass sound to the inner ears. It's caused by the problem with too much earwax, ear infections, and fluid buildup or abnormal bones growth in the middle ears. It's very common in children and indigenous population. With visual impairment, we will look at reflective errors in popular eyes disorder, which cause the blurred vision. The eye with the reflective errors cannot clearly concentrate on the image in the outer world. It's very popular that you all know with this name is nearsightedness, farsightedness, astigmatism, and presbyopia. Beside the presbyopia is happen at the older people, or another condition can happen to the young children. With physical impairment, we're looking at the muscular dystrophy. It's a genetic condition in which the muscle fibers in the body slowly weakening, resulting in physical disability when they grow up. The condition causes difficulty in movement, such as getting up from the sitting position or even in riding. With intellectual impairment, we will be looking at the difficulty in reading. So with the student, they may be able to read fluently, but they can't comprehend. To cater for students with visual impairment, there are many factors that the teachers need to consider. Throughout the unit, many worksheets are provided, so it is important for the teachers to make sure the texts are in large font, so it's easy for the student to read. When the interactive board is used to show photos and videos, the student with visual impairment should be reminded to wear the prescription glasses when engaged in those activities. Otherwise, the teacher should move them to the ideal positions, closer or further to the board, depends on their eye conditions. The glare from the sun or other lightning sources should be removed so that the quality of the photos or video cannot be interfere, so the student can pay attention to the details in them. When catering for students with physical impairment, we need to remind ourselves that they have difficulty in moving around or even in writing. So we should try to minimize those as much as we can. So transition between whole class setting to small groups or pairs should be paying attention so that other students move around, students with physical impairments, so that they don't have to move around a lot. And with writing, they find really challenging to do handwriting, so alternative pencil should be offered to them, so that they don't have to use a lot of cognitive function to focus on the handwriting, and use them instead to do the learning and finish the task. For the student with hearing impairment and intellectual impairment, it is essential for the teacher to develop a habit of taking note on the board while talking or during the classroom discussion, because they may find it's fast to follow or overwhelmed with so many information coming their way. Also, when giving instructions, it's important for the teachers to breaking down the instruction into small steps as a checklist, so it's easier for them to follow and proceed through the task. And at the beginning of all the activities, it is vital if the teachers can provide a lot of scaffolding and modeling, as well as giving example to the student, so that they have a better understanding of the expectation and what they should do. Overall, when doing differentiation, I haven't considered student with multiple disability, but what you can do is you can combine all the strategy provided for those kind of students to increase the effectiveness of the lesson. Thank you.